Hey Twin Cities, it's your girl Hita back for another adventure on HitaTalk, and this time I am here at Tasty Lighting Supply interviewing creative director of Kobamm Productions, Kohnstamm. He's inside playing around with some equipment and he's going to tell us a little bit about what goes on behind the scenes and more of his story. So come on in and let's see what he has to say. So I thought it would be fun, since we're here at the awesome warehouse of Tasty Lighting Supply.
Yep.
I don't personally know a whole lot of like huge big shot productions, but you know, the things that I do know, the things you've taught me.
Sure.
What are some essential pieces of equipment? We have tons of lights.
Are super important.
Okay, so lights, camera, action.
Right. It's like more like lights, sound, camera. Big three.
They need to change that phrase then.
They should.
So talk about one of these. What is this?
I don't know, this is a 2K Fresnel.
A 2K, huh?
So it's measured in wattage. So like you can open the barn doors there.
The barn doors? Is the cow sound gonna come out?
Moo.
I'm not funny. Okay.
So there's a difference between like the Fresnels and those pars you can see up there. It's just how the lights are assembled, like where the lighting is inside of them.
Eco-friendly.
Yeah.
Saving the world.
Yeah.
1 watt at a time.
Right.
Cool. Want to show us the rest of Tasty Lighting Supply?
You got like your apple boxes and your pancakes and sandbags right here. You can see the trucks, the C-stands over there. That looks like it's a big light. I don't know, there's like a 6K maybe. More lights, trucks, director's chair.
Director's chairs!
Here like flags, flag silks, stuff to diffuse light, bounce light, all that stuff.
So with your lights, you obviously can't just have a harsh direct light on you. You need to like use a diffuser or something.
Right, exactly.
They don't just look glamorous.
That's what these are for. They got a lot of scenic stuff back there, like to build sets, build like backgrounds and stuff to put on. I think they shot like a soap opera here like a couple weeks ago.
Oh, dramatic. So you have done some work here a couple of times.
Yeah.
Is it pretty easy to get access to this place?
Yeah, you talk to Mike or Regina. Well, actually, you'd probably call her Regina. She's over at Acme Stage. It's like they share the space.
Okay.
From the same people.
Okay.
You give her an email at like Acme Stage at, I think it's like iCloud.com.
Okay.
Or just go to acmestage.com. And you just
send
be like,
me
hey, I
inquiry.
want to shoot there. And they have great lighting package that you can accompany the stage. You can book a half stage or even like a half day, half stage rate to accompany for your budgetary needs.
I went on the website and it was kind of like a kid in the candy shop because you could see the different stages, the settings, and all of that they obviously have on the website, but kind of is like, ooh, how can I play with this now?
Right.
Cool. Well, thanks for the tour.
Sure.
All right. Well, welcome back for episode 6 of HitaTalk. It is your girl Hita, and with me today is the fabulous, very creative director of Kobamm Productions, Kohnstamm.
Hello.
Hello. Thanks for chatting with us today.
No problem.
So
Sure.
let's dive in and talk about your background, and then we'll go into the evolution of Kobamm Productions.
Evolution of film. So, not many people know that I started out wanting to be a chemical engineer. I went to Purdue University for a year, and then I got really bored by that. It wasn't very creative, as you can imagine. So I transferred to Lawrence University, met my now very good friend Tom Kobamm, who was in like a student film festival, like my first like trimester I was there.
Yeah.
Had like a film where like these kids had like a shootout but he was like with fingers, and he added in the muzzle flashes. I thought it was great. I was like, I want to make film, and then that's also how Kobamm came to be, because it's his last name and my last name mashed together.
And then bam, Kobamm.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
And you grew up around here? You're from this?
Yeah, I'm from St. Paul, over yonder by St. Thomas
Side.
University. Yeah.
Don't listen to me, I'm crazy. I just moved to St. Paul, so we're neighbors. Well,
You're my neighbors with my mother.
with your mom. Hi, Mom. Cool. So, when did you start Kobamm Productions? How did that whole thing come about?
So I started actually in college. I did a lot of work for their admissions department. And so I basically used the money that I was getting from doing admissions work to like fund movies with my friend Tom.
Wow. So you guys focused on like independent movies?
Yeah, we weren't like making blockbuster movies.
Not at that time.
Not yet.
But just you guys had an idea and you went with it, and then you started out in the film. And
Yes.
then since then, I guess we can kind of go into what does Kobamm offer, what services, what kind of clients, projects have you had before?
Sure. I mean, we do everything from music videos to commercials to narrative filmmaking, features, shorts. You know, we just like actually in here like last weekend we shot some great industrial videos for a nuclear engineering company.
Oh wow! So like promotional material too.
Yeah, promotional materials, events, fashion. Like we pretty much, if you want it captured for the end of days, we could do it.
You got it covered.
Got it covered. Yeah.
We've actually worked together
We have.
significantly a lot in 2015.
Apparently, all the work we've done together is in like your intro for this segment.
You guys captured that in the beginning of the HitaTalk trailer. I'm driving a Bentley and I'm standing in the Bentley Maserati dealership. No big deal.
Yours truly.
But that was produced, directed, and edited, and all that fun stuff by yours truly, Kobamm Productions. And then, of course, that was for Rumble One Way.
Yep.
And then you've done a lot of things for fashion designers around town too.
Yeah, the nice thing is that a lot of local, like the prime example is over in St. Paul. There's a lingerie boutique called Flirt Boutique.
Yep.
There's always people out there that will want their work displayed, what their company offers.
Yeah.
And Jessica, who runs Flirt, has always been like a really great friend, and is always like, I'm like, hey, I want to do a shoot. Any thoughts? She's like, oh, we just got this in, we got that in.
Yeah.
We did some stuff for like Parks and Parker, like Pretty Rock Girl, Anna, everyone has Samantha Ray. If you go to you can go to mostly any store,
Yeah.
and be like, I like to shoot some of this stuff.
Yeah.
They'll be like, oh, we'd love to help you do that, because unsurprisingly, a lot of people want to just help local artists.
Yeah.
You just have to have like the confidence to go in there and ask.
And you do. Now you don't work alone. I know.
No.
Well, so you do a lot of local stuff, but I know you travel too.
Yes.
Which is really cool.
I do. I'm sure anyone that's seen any of my work or been on any of my my projects. Alex Schwant shoots just about everything. Literally everything that I produce.
Yeah.
It's been fun to transition to more of like a producing role. Producing and writing is like my sweet spot.
How many other people do you think you have coming in and out of your team? I know the last behind the scenes there was a good handful.
Yeah, I'd say we have like a solid, like, it'd be like him, and we like our AC guy Arnie, and then we have nicknames for our crew. We have our second AC's nickname like Quattro. David, James, Peter, John. He has like 4 names.
Oh, wow.
We always have like basically usually the same lighting guy and the same lighting team. So it's usually around like the same rotating like 8 people.
I learned a lot just
yeah.
working with you. There's a lot of people. There's Mike. There's lights.
Yeah.
I almost got knocked in the head with a boom mic, which was funny.
Yeah.
That should have been a
happens.
blooper. But tons of stuff, and I think that's really cool. It shows how much you've evolved in such a short amount of time.
Yeah.
What would you say has been some of the challenges or obstacles, whether it's
Sure.
managing a team in the industry as a whole or being a small business entrepreneur?
Sure. I think the hardest thing to get down when you're starting a business is really communication. I think you have all the ideas in your head, but being able to convey them to your team can be hard sometimes. I think a challenge that could present itself is really everyone being on the same page.
Yeah, I think.
But
big.
in terms of like finding work, starting out can be tricky. But I think making good partnerships with people, networking, meeting people. Like the first thing I did when I graduated, my dad was like, "You have to go to the Twin Cities Film Festival. You emailed Jaden, or you've interviewed Jaden.
Yeah.
Fantastic place to meet like-minded film people."
Sure.
That's how I got a lot of work that year, both on and behind the scenes.
Because of just going to network?
Exactly.
It's a huge outlet. I mean,
It is.
I collaborate a lot with the Film Fest. Obviously, I work with them, but just other festivals too, and networking opportunities for people like you and
Yeah.
actors and behind the scenes crew which do immaculate work. Cool. So that
Yeah.
was successful.
Yeah.
What's like one or two pieces of advice that you have for aspiring filmmakers or entrepreneurs or anybody really in
Sure.
the film and entertainment industry?
I would say like I said before, I think really putting yourself out there is 9 times out of 10 is like the most important thing. Confidence in your abilities and that you always have room to be better.
Yep.
Very important realization to have in terms of like starting out.
Yeah.
And even if you've done it when you're working in any field, specifically film, I think knowing that you still always have room to grow, that it's very important to I find myself very lucky because I've worked with the same crew for like 3 years. Like since I started, I've had like the same crew, and we all love each other, and we and like the OGs of my crew have like we call ourselves like the Clutch. It's like a secret. It's like a secret organization within my company.
Don't give the secret.
Don't tell
out.
anybody. It's a secret. But it's important to find people that you love to work with, that are good at what they do,
Yeah.
and that you can trust.
I think putting yourself out there is such an easier phrase to
Yes.
say than to do. Even us extroverts sometimes get shy. I mean, I'll go to an event by myself, but sometimes I don't want to, or sometimes I don't know where to start. It's almost too overwhelming. And sometimes I'll have the, big boost of confidence. And then people that kind of keep quiet and kind of do things a little
Yeah.
bit more behind the scenes might struggle with that. So if networking physically is a little bit intimidating or daunting, do you have any other insight, maybe through
Yeah.
online outlets?
Sure. I think, and this is a good example too. When we first met David, who kind of has been like he would start out basically as like our camera trainee.
Okay.
He did like a feature with Alec, but he went on Facebook and he found there are various like forums and stuff. You could like list them below. I don't know. There's
right.
like TC Cinematic and Minnesota Film Production, TV Production,
Sure.
all that stuff. And he like made a post that was like, "Hey, I need an internship to graduate. Anybody have any tips or leads?" And like, there was one guy that was like, "That's not how you go get opportunities." And then like the outpouring of people that were like, "No, you're wrong. This is exactly how we network now. Use
There's
social
no
media,
wrong way.
talk." There's no wrong way to. Well, there are wrong ways, but like.
What technicalities? Outlets.
Semantics. But no, but like going out there and messaging people, shouting at people, friending people can be weird sometimes, but it's like, hey, I saw you did so and so. I'd love to help. I need experience. I want to get out on those sets.
Yeah.
Like, just go for it.
Totally.
And I think that social media has like that you have like that barrier where like you can be like on a keyboard and you can send a message to someone that's like, hey, you're really great, let's do something together.
It is. It's kind of like giving a speech. A lot of people hide behind the podium, and some people like me are like, give me the stage.
Right.
But it's a lot barrier. I think we met through Haley Anderson.
We did.
But she may have introduced us initially on Twitter. And I think that's like,
That sounds about
I think she tagged you and said something that you'll be there as the photographer.
Yes.
But Twitter is a really great outlet,
I love
Instagram,
Haley.
and then so many things on Facebook, like you were saying.
Yeah.
Cool. If you could go back and do one or two things differently in your career path,
Sure.
what would you tell young Alex?
Young Alex, to invest in yourself early. It was, I was very much on the fence about how much I would invest in my company. we grew up with Generation Xers that was like, your job is to go to college and then get a full-time job and save money and have kids and
The traditional way.
right. And so it's weird when I graduated college and I taught over at IFP and I worked at TPT. At that time, I was starting to get inquiries. Like, hey, do you want to film this and shoot that, produce this, do that, and finally I was like, maybe I could do this. I could do this by myself.
Sure.
So it's weird to realize maybe you won't be the happiest in a full-time job. Maybe you'll be happiest doing your own projects. And having the confidence to say I will put all of myself into that right away.
So when you say invest in yourself, you're not necessarily saying always just on a financial standpoint.
Right.
It's more so the opportunities, some free work, some paid work.
It's being open-minded to the opportunities that life provide you. And yes, that means sometimes starting out doing some spec work, but sometimes that turns into award-winning stuff.
Yeah. Well, we can chat for a long time, but
Yes, we can.
tell us how we can find out more about you, your services, and all that jazz.
Sure. You can go to www.kobamm.com to see the website.
We're going to put that right here.
And Facebook, we have
Yeah.
the page.
Yeah. Well, all your contact information is probably on the website.
Yeah.
Samples of your work. And
Samples of my work are
how
on
people
there.
Can get you can hire you.
Can hire my services, my team's services.
Maybe a little joint venture.
Yeah, we offer services with PR, so
Yeah.
I think
I know a good girl.
I know a pretty swell girl.
Okay.
Yeah,
Cool.
that's how you get in touch with me if you want something done right.
Do it right. Do it the Kobamm way. Well, thank you for chatting with us on HitaTalk today. But we're not done. It's time for HitaTalk trivia. I'm going to ask you a couple of questions because you're a pro in this industry.
Sure.
And you can totally fake it.
I can totally take it.
Some of them are going to be easy. Some of them, I kind of want to stump you. I know you're
It's
genius.
probably much easier than you think it is.
You went to Purdue. You tried to do the engineering thing.
I tried to do the
You loved
engineering
it,
thing.
but I'm gonna try to stump you.
It's gonna not take that much.
So we're gonna ask you some questions, and then some fill in the blanks. Alex,
Yeah.
what does SAG in SAG stand for?
Screen Actors Guild.
Whoop, whoop. That is correct. Okay. In the film market, by box office,
Yeah.
what 3 countries have the largest markets?
China,
Okay.
London, and America.
Oh my gosh. That's 2 out of 3. That's actually, I had no idea you would get a lot of them, not undermining you. It's the USA,
Yeah.
China, and Japan.
Japan. Oh boy.
They got tons of connections over there, apparently.
Yes.
All right, let's quiz your expertise on the director world. I'm gonna give you 2 movies. You tell me who the directors were. Who directed Saving Private Ryan?
Steven Spielberg.
Whoop, whoop. That is correct. And who directed Goodfellas?
Martin Scorsese.
Martin Scorsese. Okay, and the final question. What movie is this quote from? I'll give you a bonus to make up for the other question. If you can guess the actor.
All right.
Actor and movie. The quote is, "I'll be back."
Terminator. The first one.
And who was the actor?
Arnold Schwarzenegger.
All right, that's almost a perfect score because he got the bonus. Right on. Well, there you have it, folks. Alex Kohnstamm from Kobamm Productions. Again, thank you so much for joining us. And that is it for episode 6 of HitaTalk, episode 6 of season 1. I'm getting a little tongue-tied here. So stay tuned for season 2 coming up here in early spring. Make sure you follow us on all of our social media. And until then, we'll see ya.